oftentimes when we hear about the need for bipartisanship from Democratic lawmakers, let's keep it real, they're talking about working with the very Republicans in Congress who usually engage in obstruction, who are going out of their way to prevent any type of investigation into what happened in the Capitol riots. Just the very people who always stand in their way. In reality, they should look at the bipartisanship that's taking place among the electorate, because on a lot of important issues, Democrats and Republicans tend to agree on things, including the ability for Medicare to negotiate drug prices directly with pharmaceutical companies. So this is a recent poll that was conducted, and I think the results of this poll are telling because it reveals a disconnect between what we see in Congress and what the American people want. So conducted by the firm Lake Research Partners, the new poll shows that 87% of voters over the age of 65, including 89% of Democrats, 87% of Republicans, and 81% of independents, support allowing Medicare to negotiate drug prices, which is currently barred from doing under the federal law. So federal law indicates that Medicare can't just directly negotiate drug prices with pharmaceutical companies. Now that's something the pharmaceutical companies lobbied for. That's what they've doled out campaign contributions to protect their ability to price gouge the American people, including the Medicare system, with outrageous drug prices. But what's also fascinating is, look at that, Democrats and Republicans, 89% of Democrats and 87% of Republicans agree. I mean, that's kind of miraculous, right? Now, let's also look at this statistic or this result from the poll, which I thought was amazing. So the survey also found that 31% of Republican seniors would be more likely to vote for a Democrat who supports ongoing congressional efforts to allow Medicare to negotiate drug prices, indicating a substantial political upside for candidates who back the idea, which would lower federal spending by an estimated $456 billion over 10 years and potentially / definitely save patients thousands of dollars. And then here's the other thing, and this should be concerning for the Democratic Party. 60% of Democratic seniors said that they would be less likely to support a Democratic candidate who's opposed to that popular reform. Now, why are we talking about this? I mean, is this even a proposal? Is this something that members of Congress are even discussing? Yes. So remember that reconciliation infrastructure bill, the one that would only require a simple majority in the Senate to pass? Well, Democrats are having a discussion right now about including a provision that would ensure that Medicare can negotiate drug prices directly with pharmaceutical companies. The question is, will the final legislation include that provision? And if Americans were organized, if we had a game plan in place to apply pressure strategically, we might be able to get it. Because apparently we've got allies in the Republican Party, Republican voters who want the same thing. So bipartisanship is nothing if we're just having a discussion about reaching across the aisle to work with like Chuck Grassley or like Mo Brooks, like who cares? Bipartisanship is in the electorate. Let's focus on that. Let's focus on what we can do to apply pressure together to ensure that we have a better system in place, not just for seniors who get to take advantage of Medicare, but for a larger group of individuals who might qualify for Medicare if the reconciliation package includes a Medicare expansion, which is another thing that Democrats are talking about. But how about less talking and more doing? Now we're equipped with this information, we're equipped with this knowledge. We know that we're on the right side of the issue. The question is, what kind of strategy are we gonna utilize to ensure that these lawmakers actually stop for just 1 second listening to their corporate donors and pharmaceutical companies and start listening to the American people? Again, the very people who elected them to serve in that position of power in the first place.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.